Hey guys, it's Chris.
I'm Jim.
Bringing you a new segment. Instead of doing reactions, this time we're going to do what we want to call Geek Talk. Couple intoxicated geeks
Working on it.
bringing you intoxicating geekdom as we're getting intoxicated. This is episode 1. Welcome to the party. Remember, if you want to talk to people, you got to look at the little light. Yeah.
I don't know if people can tell whether I'm looking at the screen or the camera.
They probably can't.
Okay.
But
Hi.
today we're going to be talking about a very geeky subject. Star Trek. Specifically, our top 5 Star Trek TV show characters. And why they're so awesome. Gosh darn it. Kapla! You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Alright, now we're talking all the series, right?
But only TV. You can't draw from movies.
Right. So you know about the animated series.
I don't know anything about the animated.
Cool.
Oh, I know the
Because
animated
I've only
series was
watched
animated.
it. I've only watched it a couple of times, and I've read the books that were based off the animated series, and yeah, it's my least favorite series.
Well, if we're talking about favorites, why are you bringing it up?
Well, I'm just saying as a disclaimer that the animated series, if anybody has any questions, is my least knowledgeable subject out of all Star Trek. So, that being said, the rest of the series have some pretty compelling characters. And putting a top 5 on is difficult. So I'm going to ask you this. What are the qualities of these 5 characters that would put them in the top 5? Like bravery, diplomacy,
It's a totally
sacrifice.
It is your 5 most favorite characters, ranked 1 to 5.
Oh, my 5 most favorite.
5 most favorite.
I thought we were doing like 5 most like.
No, we're not doing most important, most relevant, most
Gotcha.
sexy.
Most
That'll be another one. Sexiest Star Trek characters. But no. Just your top 5 favorite.
There's a chick in the original that looked like my boss at Denny's. It was weird.
Maybe it was.
No, she in the 60s. Nah,
Age.
no.
Start. Okay. Think about your 5 favorite for a minute, and then start with number 5. With 1 being your favorite. If you need some time, I got mine. So.
You go ahead. You if you've got yours, because this is way more in depth probably for me than you.
Alright. My 5th favorite Star Trek character, all time, from the TV series, is Odo from Deep Space Nine. Simply because he can fucking shapeshift.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Shapeshift. What would you do if you could shapeshift? I know what I do.
So is it just Odo, or is it the whole changeling race? Because
Odo.
other changelings were far more advanced
Fuck those
than
other
US.
changelings, man. They were dicks.
Yeah, they were.
No, Odo was cool. He was like, "Hi, I'm Odo."
He was humanized. Or he was
Bajoranized.
humanoidized.
He was Bajoranized. I mean, he was.
He took aspects from everybody. Like, he took aspects from the Cardassians, he took aspects from the Bajorans, and the humans.
Yeah, no, he was military. He was basically military born. That's what he
So to
was.
speak, he was discovered through the lab and discover what he can do and whatnot. But Odo is a pretty cool character and fast, very fast as a changeling.
You thought of your number 5 yet?
Oh boy, let's see. There's a lot of characters, so
Dead air.
a little bit.
All right, my 4th favorite character of all time. Q. John Delancey's Q from the Next Generation, and a little bit of Voyager. He was awesome. I mean, we're going from shapeshifting to whatever you want to do.
Basically,
Snap and flash, and there you go. You are walking on the surface of. You're walking on the surface of the Enterprise. You are a scarecrow.
whatever he wants.
I mean,
whatever he wants. He in one of the books. He zaps Guinan just outside the window of 10 Forward, just cause she was giving him some attitude, and she almost died.
it's probably why she stabbed him.
No, that was.
No.
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 The one with the 2 Qs on the Enterprise. It was the other Q snapped her outside of the thing, and John Delancey's Q brought her back in, and she almost died. But I do have my 5th.
Ah.
My 5th favorite character, I believe, is Guinan.
Whoopi.
Whoopi. Not only is Whoopi Goldberg
Jim
an
loves the
amazing person. I mean, in general, I love her. I don't watch that show with the other women that she's on.
This isn't a review of The View.
Right. Didn't know how to say it. But I don't watch The View.
No. This isn't a review of Whoopi either. It's a review of a Star Trek character.
But being the character that she is so wise, and she's been around for hundreds of years.
Longer than that, even, right? She's like.
I don't recall off the top of my head exactly how old she is, but when her race was destroyed by the Borg, there was only a handful of listeners left. What was her race called?
Oh my gosh, what was her race called? Ugh. Ugh.
And they had another one of her race who happened to be Prince Humperdinck.
Who? No.
He played in Deep Space Nine as one of those guys, but he was more of a con artist, and he had that luck ball.
El-Orians.
El-Orians! Nice. And there's literally only a handful left of El-Orians, but they are wonderful people for the most part. Guinan is amazing. She listens, she's wise, and she makes a damn good drink.
And she'll put any motherfucker in their place that she feels like it.
Including Q.
Stabbed him with a fork when he came crying to him. Oh, I'm human, can I help you? And she said, I don't know, are you human? Smack! Yay. You got your 4?
Alright, that's my 5th. Let's see, my 4th.
Starting to run low.
Well, why don't you refill us while I'm...
No, you better be talking to the camera, man.
I'm talking to the camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
No dead air, man. Dead air is stupid.
So 5th, or 4th, well, Worf. Worf,
Son of Milk.
son of Moog, is one of the most honorable Klingons out there. He is like the Ned Flanders of Klingons. He follows everything to the T, all the rituals, everything, even the ones that go against each other. He has been dishonored. He has been his struggle between the being a Starfleet officer and at heart a Klingon warrior is impressive. I mean, and he struggles so much. He chooses to lose. My brother likes his head.
I love me some head.
Anyway, Worf chooses to lose his honor to save his father's honor, who he doesn't even know is alive or dead. His father was supposedly accused of betraying, of leaking information to the Romulans at the
Battle of the Kittimer Massacre.
the Kittimer Massacre, and was therefore his family's honor was stripped, and he fought to get that back. He lost his own honor to regain his father's honor, so that his father could end up in Sto-vo-kor.
Let's not forget.
Klingon heaven for those who don't know.
Don't be a patak. Let's not also forget, he and Gowron were not allies.
And Gowron was not a warrior. He was a politician.
And Worf sacrificed. He did. He sacrificed and helped Gowron stabilize the Klingon Empire.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
And when that fake ass Kahless came back,
He wasn't.
he was fake as fuck, man. He was a clone
He was a clone.
with no real memories, no real skills.
He still had heart.
He was still he was a figurehead. That's all he
okay.
became. But I mean, Worf realized how much Kahless could help the Empire.
Yeah.
And so,
False prophet or not. You know? It's okay. I mean, the guy didn't have a choice in his cloning. So that false Kahless had the heart of Klingon. He just didn't have the memories of Kahless.
Right. You got your number 3?
Not yet.
I got my number 3.
Go ahead.
The one, the only, Lieutenant Commander Data. Now, Spock set a precedent in the original series. Struggling with his humanity. That he wasn't sure if he wanted or he didn't, and it got in the way, and yum, boo-hoo, I'm half Vulcan.
Issues with his father. He had a lot of father issues.
Data, on the other hand,
Had also father issues.
He-
technically.
struggled to become human.
He wanted to be human, even though he
Now, I mean, let's not write off the fact.
completely cybernetic. I mean, he was more than, in a way, he was almost more than human.
Let's not write off the fact that probably 70% of all the Next Generation episodes, they would have been fucked if they didn't have Data. Data repeatedly saved them. I mean, and because he was a robot. The time that Picard got stung by the vine and Q took him to fake heaven, whatever, and Geordi
where
and
he
Data went down
relived
and Data was able to catch the vine because he was so fast.
That was the one where he relived him getting stabbed through his heart.
Picard, but
Is there a gene left Picard here?
fucking Q. There was the one where they got caught in a time loop, and the only way they could send a message to the next
Themselves.
loop was programmed through the computer, something only Data's recognition speed could pick up, figure out, lock in, and be like, oh, I'm wrong, Riker's right.
Right, exactly.
You know, or
The tractor beam's not going to work.
the time they all got suckered into the video game.
The game. That's the episode.
Because he was a robot, Wesley was able to repair him, reawaken him, and because he couldn't get affected by the game, let him know how to save everyone. Strobe light, seizures, epilepsy, everyone.
I know. I thought that was like the craziest freaking cure for something.
We just gotta burn your optic nerve really quick. Hang on.
Right.
But no, Data carried
and
that
the fact
shit.
that only 2 people know how to sever what they severed to shut him down for that episode, and Wesley. Obviously, we're not necessarily talking about Wesley at the moment, but Wesley, eidetic memory.
Screw you, Will Wheaton. You're a whiner.
Hey,
Nah, I'm just playing. I like
hey, we like Will Wheaton.
you. Like Will Wheaton.
You know that Sheldon and Will Wheaton actually become friends on.
I do. We're not talking about that.
It's nice. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Also, Mr. Data could take your Mr. Badass Worf, bend him over backwards, and break him like a little bit girl, and then give him spankings.
You know, honestly, I would like to see. You never really see it, but Worf and Data never butt heads.
Data could overpower a Borg.
Yes, he could, but that was also manipulation by lore. The little emotion thing.
No,
that he,
they didn't have.
But yes.
Data had no strength that could be affected by emotions. He's a computer. He has.
no, yeah, I mean, he is incredibly strong.
I mean, I know I said we're talking about the series, but I just want to bring into point during First Contact. He drops down, just steps off several levels in the rocket hangar.
Oh yeah, it just drops.
Just drops, and then takes automatic gunfire to the chest.
Right.
And just
What's his body mostly made of?
probably some form of duranium. A fictitious alloy that is lighter, more flexible, yet stronger than titanium, like all of them.
Actually, they have a lot of materials that are way stronger than titanium.
You know what I mean.
But, yeah, no, I do. I'm more dorky than he is. Trust me. There's a philosophy to Star Trek that he doesn't even get.
What's your number 3?
So I've said what? I've said Worf and Guinan, right?
Yep.
Alright. Now people might be thinking I might be going off on some obscure characters that... Worf is a pretty main character and Guinan's fairly mainstream.
You kind of went obscure with Guinan, but whatever.
I like Guinan. She's just amazing.
Hey, man.
Oh, let's see. Now, okay. I'm saving my 1 and 2 are gonna be one he mentioned, one I'm gonna mention. But there's a character in Voyager that you only see for about 5-10 minute scene with Neelix, Captain Janeway, and she accidentally insulted this race of beings who basically speak in interpretive dance. That scene.
Oh my, you don't know. We mate. Yeah. I remember those fools. That's like...
And she tries to talk to him, and he's just like... He does this weird move, like he's putting up a force field.
Are you saying that character, that alien character...
That specific alien is... Because you never ever see any of those other kinds... Other species. But that specific alien, and I mean the guy that played him he must have felt so silly playing that character, but that character was oh my god, they looked really weird. And also, I have to kind of, and I hope this is going to break the rules just slightly, but I have to add that character and a slash, because
Whoa.
a slash with another character, because they're only in this other character's a little bit more.
So like 3A and 3B?
Let's say that, yeah. Slash A.
Alright, 3B is the guy with the interpretive dance. 3A...
Trip and Archer in the prison ship. Headed.
Alright.
That guy that sat next to Trip.
I got a confession to make. All of you. He's referring to Enterprise, which I didn't much care for, so I did not watch every episode. I've seen every episode of most episodes of the original series. I've seen all of The Next Generation multiple times, all of Deep Space Nine, most of it multiple times, all of Voyager multiple times. Enterprise, no, I never even finished it. I mean, like, I saw the last episode and I saw the first episode, but I never finished it. So I don't know what the hell he's referring to right now. So he's going to take over.
After I finish my glaring at you, on principle, you should watch Enterprise, because
bitch.
the reason why I say
Scott
that,
Bakula.
Scott
I loved you in
Bakula,
Quantum Leap.
and you know what? Scott Bakula actually almost turned down the role for Archer. You know why? They came at him like, "Hey, we're gonna do another Star Trek series," and he's like, "Nah, I don't want to be the next captain." You know, they're like, "No, you're gonna be the first captain." He's like, "Cool, awesome." But
I can understand that as a selling point. Guess what? You come before Kirk.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and at the end of the series, obviously you find out that it's a holodeck program run by Riker, who wanted to learn the history of it, but it's because of Archer and Enterprise.
More beer.
Please, thank you. It's because of Archer and the Enterprise that the Prime Directive was made, so that everything Star Trek with the Federation, Starfleet, and everything that they stand for is there. And so, anyway, I'm digressing. Or I should digress.
You drunky motherfucker.
Trip and Archer get caught they get arrested on this planet and are being transported.
So Archer's the captain, who's Trip?
Trip is the engineer.
Okay.
He's
Just
basically,
for the people watching.
he's the first Scotty.
For the people watching.
Gotcha. Trip is the first Scotty, basically. He's the chief engineer of Enterprise. Archer's the captain. Now, they get arrested, and by this race who, they're very, very militant. They basically arrest and then ask questions later. Usually falsely accuse a lot of people and send them to this prison that's very, very harsh. Like, it's up there with
Penta.
Rurapente.
Rurapente. But that's in a movie, so we're not talking about it. Oh, I know.
It's in Enterprise. Archer's the first person to escape from it. But that's besides the point. On this prison ship that is transporting them to this prison planet, whatever. Stop it. There's this guy that all he does, he's like a little con artist kind of alien, and all he does is talk and talk, and he annoys the crap out of Trip, and Trip like flips out, and finally tells him to shut the hell up, and the guy's like, dude, wanted to talk, man. I'm kind of
I
nervous
just wanted
and makes
to
him feel bad for him and all
pray.
this and that. But that guy, I mean, he had a hard role. He had a really hard role. He had to talk a lot. And he had a lot of lines, and he had to get yelled at, and he got punched a few times. So I'm going to put him at my third.
All right. That was long and drawn out.
It was, and we like
Thank you.
tangented it like crazy.
Geek. Huh? Huh?
Geek? Yes.
Are you ready for number 2?
Star Trek. Yes.
You got?
Star Trek
Do you have your number 2? I got my number 2.
I have my 1 and 2. Not necessarily in that order.
You want a Rochambeau for who goes first on 2, or do you want me to just do it? Or you want?
We'll Rochambeau on 1.
Do you want to go for 2, or do you want me to go
You
for
go.
2? All right.
Okay. So,
My number 2 is, in my opinion, the most legendary character from all of Star Trek.
really? Kirk?
Oh, fuck Kirk.
Really? Legendary character?
Now, my number 1, don't get me wrong, isn't this guy. DeForest Kelly's Dr. Leonard McCoy. Bones. I mean, you want to talk about Guinan putting people in their place. Guinan didn't have shit on Bones.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Fuck Carl
But
Urban.
You know what? I think Bones and Guinan would have some excellent conversation.
Bones was the defining principle in all of Star Trek of don't be stupid.
He was extremely skeptical.
He
He didn't like technology.
he saved so many
It
lives
screwed with him.
because he kept people from being stupid. Because like we know, 95% of all people die in Star Trek because they're stupid.
No, because they're red shirts.
That's in the original series. After the original series, it didn't matter what color shirt you were wearing.
But
If you were stupid, you died.
Yeah, well, no,
That
I
means
get
you
that.
too, Denise Crosby.
But you were referring to the original series and or the animated series because they were series, not movies. So when you say Leonard McCoy, it's either the first episode of Star Trek, or The Next Generation, or the original series.
No. No, I'm referring to the original series.
I know. I'm sorry. Go back a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, drunk moment. DeForest Kelly's Dr. Leonard McCoy was just the single greatest, no nonsense. I don't care what you say. I'm doing it my way, unless you're my stupid captain ordering me onto this transporter pad.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was it.
Actually,
It's the only
it's
time
funny.
he'd capitulate, because oh my gosh, he would put anyone in there. Captain Kirk was his little bitch if he chose so. If
Well,
he chose to,
dude,
he could be like, hey,
Any chief
I'm the
medical
chief
officer?
medical officer,
Any,
and
yeah.
you are no longer in command of this vessel because I've just decided to say you're not.
No,
You're
no.
deemed
He
psychologically
had-
unstable.
He had to find a logical reason for
Yeah, well,
the first officer and chief engineer to find him irrational.
you are deemed unfit because you get too enthralled by hormones.
Kirk is,
You are deemed unfit because you can't discern when it really matters.
and you are deemed unfit because you're Vulcan.
Well, that's what he was saying to Spock, is you can't figure out when something really matters. You know, because
Spock?
Spock...
They argued a lot because
Ugh,
they
you-
were on opposite ends of the
You
spectrum. when it comes-
green-blooded son of a bitch.
Right. I mean, but you know what? They were perfect. They were perfect. They were the greatest duo.
Once again, going back to the movies, which, you know... But,
No.
once again, going back to the movies, when McCoy had Spock's Katra in him, was the only good part
Absolutely.
of Star Trek 3.
When he
That's
was
a whole nother debate.
when he was fruitier than a nut cake. That was the words that Kirk used instead of nuttier than a fruitcake.
He was fruitier than a nut.
Fruitier than a nut cake.
Absolutely.
And the guard looked at him like, "Are you fucking retarded?" All right, who's your 2? Oh yeah,
No,
by the
what
way,
is-
by the way, Dr. Leonard McCoy pioneered 95% of all medical procedures used in Star Trek up till Voyager.
With the Voyager?
Yeah, in Voyager they had to pioneer a whole bunch because it was just foreign DNA.
Well, okay, yeah.
But everything that Beverly Crusher and Dr. Pulaski used in the Next Generation, everything that Dr. Bashir used in...
Bashir was a kind of a pioneer himself.
Bashir turned out to be like some sort of a fancy genetic weirdo. But,
He was genetically altered, yes.
but nonetheless,
And he had to act like a dumbass.
all
because
of
he
their
was.
stuff was based on Bones. And
No,
his
I'm not.
procedures.
And I'm not saying that. I mean, Bones did. He had amazing. And you know what? Bones not only was a pioneer for medical research and medical discovery. He was like the ultimate doctor. He wouldn't test it on other people. He'd do it on himself. If it didn't work, he probably might have died. But he didn't because he knew he was right, and so he fixed a whole bunch of diseases by infecting himself. Fruit flies.
And again, I would like to say, Carl Urban, you are no Dr. McCoy. Who's your number 2?
Carl Urban's the guy that plays in the new movies, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I have to give it to him. He does. Okay.
I'd hate to waste this beer
No.
breaking this glass over
I
my
have
brother's
to
head
make.
for
I
what he's
have to
about
make a
say.
relevant point.
We might see some violence.
I have to make a
We
relevant
might
point.
see some pain.
Granted, the new Star Trek movies with Chris Pine and all that, I like them. Don't get me wrong. I like them. I really do. I think they're inventive, ingenuitive, and just downright new.
Benedict Cumberbatch did a fucking fantastic con. You, sir, stood at the side of Ricardo Montalban
You did.
in your performance.
You did.
You exceeded expectations by the
brilliant.
power of 10.
I mean, I wish that Ricardo Montalban would be alive to see your performance of him. Because Ricardo Montalban, at 60 years old in Star Trek 4, or 2, I'm sorry.
You just said that.
Drunk! I did just say that.
You said that because 4 is your favorite. I know. I understand.
4 was one of the best movies. But,
it
you
was
know, we're
awesome.
digressing. Granted, Ricardo Montalban, he was 60 years old in The Wrath of Khan, and that guy was not only buff, he was still, he was agile, and he was smart, and he did a perfect Khan.
Dude, but Benedict Cumberbatch...
Khan!
Benedict Cumberbatch pulled off...
He pulled off the sadistic part.
No, the cunning.
The cunning.
The cunning. Just
And
the wild.
he was more sadistic, too. Less caring about living.
No. He was more caring. Whoa, no, we're not talking about this. We're talking about top
Right.
5 characters, man.
Sorry.
Another.
We
top
are
five.
digressing here. We will do a top 10 one of these times.
We'll do
movies.
We'll do a movie talk. We'll do a movie talk.
And we are digressing badly. We should not be talking about the movies.
What's your 2? What's your 2? What's your 2? What's your 2?
Okay.
What's your 2? What's your 2? What's your 2? What's your 2? What's your 2?
Okay, now, because I can't decide on which one is my favorite. I mean, look at that. He's going so fast, you can't even see it. It's not even moving.
I got a big fist.
I'm going to just say my 1 and 2 at the same time.
No. Okay.
I have to, because I can't decide. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to have to do a top 10 because we're going to have to do a top 50 because I got so many characters.
All right,
I
hurry up. I gotta pee, and I want to get this video done before I do that.
Picard and Q. Not only because of the relationship between the two of them.
They were intertwined from day one to day end.
Now, Q did have a pretty fun role in Voyager, and I loved his relationship between Janeway and Q, but Picard and Q, there was no test. There was no real test of the human race. But Q was not going to destroy the human race. He wanted to just test Picard and kind of just fuck with the humans a little bit.
The difference between Picard and Q is that Q would give Picard the reach around. Picard would not give Q a reach around.
Absolutely not. And Picard continued on a constant basis to surprise Q. To surprise an omnipotent being who supposedly knows most everything. He was there when God created humans, and he warned against it. Sorry, that was a book.
That
was a book. My bad.
That sounded stupid.
But it's true.
Shut up.
It's true.
Shut up. Here's the thing. Is that no matter who I like best in Star Trek, no matter who I think is awesome or great at their position or whatever measure you're going to measure them measurably
You said you're number 2.
against. Yes, my number 2 is
Right. Okay.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard was the single greatest captain to ever come out of Star Trek. The only time he ever lost was to himself. And that was in an episode where he was kidnapped by the Cardassians and tortured.
There are 4 lights!
But at the last minute, he saw 5.
And that was strictly through malnourishment, torture, and lack of sleep. I would probably see 10 lights.
Yeah. And the only other time was in a movie when he literally lost to himself. The clone in Nemesis.
Oh, the son?
No, his clone.
Oh, right.
It was his clone in Nemesis. And
a big fan of Nemesis.
They were firing this thing that was going to destroy the Enterprise. Picard got over there, killed everyone, and managed to kill his clone, but his clone came all up on him, grabbing his chest and being like, "You and I are the same." And it just froze Picard, and he couldn't finish blowing up the ship because he just was overcome with the fact that he could have been this person, and bitched out. And Data, my motherfucking man, Data, had to fire himself out of broken fucking corridor in the Enterprise after a huge battle, launch himself to the other ship, climb inside, sneak in, run to the room where the thing was going off, put his emergency transporter on Picard, beam Picard back to the Enterprise and be like,
sacrifice himself.
"Goodbye, sir," and blow the ship up with him in it, and Data died. That was the end of Data.
But we're still talking about a movie here.
I know, I'm just saying, throwing that out there. Shit, fine.
It was sad that and you know what? It was sad that they got rid of Data. It was...
Brent Spiner was getting a little bit fat, though.
Brent Spiner was getting a little bit fat, don't get me wrong. He was getting a little bit old.
I love you,
But
Brent.
you know what? It throws off the last episode of All Good Things. Data was living in, like, Cambridge or something. He decided to put a streak of gray in his hair.
Multi-universal theory.
Multi-universal, huh?
They changed things in the end of All Good Things so that that future no longer occurred.
You're right. Oh, my bad. Didn't think about that. You're absolutely right. You see, this is why I keep him around. That, and he's my brother. He points out things that I don't, that I forget about.
I'd be smart. I graduated.
I can still outdo you in Star Trek.
No.
But the only thing...
No, because I'm about to name my number one, and you are going to suck my cock. Well, no. But...
No.
No. But... you understand what I'm saying, what I'm about to do. I'm about to drop a bomb.
Right.
I'm about to drop a Star Trek bomb.
I'm actually interested to know this, because I don't know his favorite.
Number one favorite character from Star Trek comes from Star Trek Voyager. Episode called Drone. The Doctor has this mobile emitter from an episode prior where someone who witnessed a 29th century time ship wreck took their technology and created a corporate empire in the 20th century.
That's right.
Created the mobile emitter from 29th century. Now, Voyager's from the 24th century. They crossed paths with them through a time loop thing and ended up getting this mobile emitter for the Doctor. 29th century technology. In the 24th century.
Technology.
During a nebular birth that they're witnessing, they beam the Doctor and 7 of 9, the Borg, that's turned almost human.
Jerry Ryan, hot. Sorry.
And the nanites, responsible for assimilation, that reside within 7, cross over in the transporter buffer due to nebular radiation. And the Doctor's emitter becomes a 29th century Borg maturation chamber.
I knew it!
Sucks in human DNA and meshes it with 7's DNA and creates
Oh my god.
one. The 29th century Borg.
And he's
Living
on the good guy's side.
in the 24th century, and he's on the fucking good guy's side.
And
He
now,
sacrifices his own life after learning everything he needs to know. He masters the understanding of right and wrong to the point when the Borg realize that they gotta get this guy and make themselves ultimate Borg in the 24th century. He beams himself off of Voyager. Himself. They try to lock onto him to beam him onto the ship, and he's like, don't bother. Beams himself off.
multi-spatial shielding.
Goes onto the Borg ship. Every time a Borg comes and tries to touch him to assimilate him while he's in there, they just like fly back 10 feet off of his repulsive shields. He goes and he steps right into one of their regeneration chambers,
Multi-spatial
locks right in, and downloads himself into their computer core, blows up their ship. His shielding around his body makes him survive the explosion. He's floating in space. They beam him back on board to sickbay, and they're like, well, we gotta save him! We gotta save him! And he looks up and he says, I am too important to them. They will keep coming for you if I am still alive.
Die.
I must die. And he's too badly damaged for even a Borg to survive. And they're like, no.
They had the
No. He's too badly damaged for a Borg to naturally survive.
All right.
So
Well,
the
24th century.
the doctor comes and he's like, no, I don't care what you're saying. I will save a life. And goes to go and he throws up his shields again and won't
Multi-spatial
let
shielding.
them, will not let them heal him. And he dies.
You must save yourself. You are hurting me.
And
I will not comply.
his one episode humanizes 7 of 9. humanizes Janeway tenfold over what she already is. And I mean, she's mommy captain.
Mommy captain.
She's mommy captain. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why they made it. That's why they made a female captain, is they needed some sort of matriarchal, also maternal.
Actually, we're gonna talk about the actual people who played these captains and other characters.
We're gonna
at
actually
another
do
time.
it. We're gonna actually do a group reaction to a panel of the 5 captains, but not tonight because we're
But
already
I
at
have
45 minutes.
I have lots of opinion on it, and I have lots of info. So,
That's my top 5, and that's his top 5. And here's the big question: what's your top 5?
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Also, if you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. Do me a favor,
Hit it twice.
subscribe if you're on YouTube. Comment, because I really want to know what you guys want to hear about, because I'll give it to you.
And we don't do just Star Trek. We are
Total
do
geeks.
quite a few things.
Total geeks. We will geek on anything. We will grab our beer and geek into it while we are geeking into this right here. The camera. You know,
You're geeking into your heads.
I'll geek in your mouth.
That's just nasty.
Please.
You're a
Also,
geek.
share.
Please share.
Share.
Please share.
And you know you like Star Trek. Don't lie. You don't have to lie to us. Look at us. Look what we just did. Alright? You know you like Star Trek.
You know it.
You have any parting Star Trek words you'd like to bestow upon the masses? I mean, what should they hear? Final words. I mean, is it just simply all good things must come to an end?
No.
All right.
No, honestly, I hated that that title for those the last 2 episodes. I
Really?
mean, because it wasn't good things coming to an end. It was the beginning of more good things. Now, believe me, I can go on and on and on about Star Trek.
He can.
So, with much restraint, I'm gonna say, live long and prosper. Leonard Nimoy was the shit.
Leonard Nimoy would have been my bro if I didn't get stuck with this guy.
And I'm sad that he made it 49 years and was not able to make it to the 50th anniversary Star Trek convention, which I have the privilege of going to. So if anybody has any comments or anything about that specifically,
If you want to hear about something at that because you can't make it, put it down here so that I can get it to him.
now unfortunately, like, we wanted to get the Legionnaire tickets or the Captain Seat tickets. Those were gone in like a week to a month. I mean, like, those got some really special perks, and I wanted to be selfish, and I wanted that. My woman even wanted to send me by myself.
That's not nice to say. Your woman.
My girlfriend, the love of my life,
That's right.
the love of my life, wanted to send me by myself to Vegas so I could get the captain seat or one of the Commodore's tickets or whatever. So I get all these special perks.
He said no.
I said no. I want her with me. I want her to come with me
He
because
said-
she is a Trekkie, and it's my fault.
Now. Is it Trekkie or Trekker?
Trekkie. I'm a Trekkie.
Thank you. I am a Trekkie.
Honestly, I don't even know what the definition of a Trekker is. I think...
You know what the definition of a Trekker is?
No, I just said that.
The definition of a Trekker is someone who thinks they're better than a real OG Trekkie.
They're like New Age Trekkies. and they just
They're someone who got into it in the new millennium.
I mean, like
A trekker thinks that because they're a 95 plus lover of Star Trek, they deserve the right to know more because, you know,
a lot of Trekkers actually
Technology.
aren't as familiar with the original series. They're more Next Generation and stuff like that.
tell me about the Tholian web, you goddamn Trekker. What is it?
You see, and the thing is that some I've realized I haven't met many Trekkers, but the few that I have found are closet Trekkies because they do know about this stuff, like the Tholian web.
I still have to pee.
But they just won't admit it. Anyway,
Here's the thing. Why are Orion women so hot?
you know it's the men who are really the slaves, right?
I'm leaving it to you. Explain it. Why do people love Orion women?
Because it wouldn't matter if they were butt fucking ugly, like maimed by fire and metal. It wouldn't matter. The pheromones that they put off makes any man of any race their little bitch.
And that is your closing geek fact of the day. We love you.
Live
Like,
long and
subscribe,
prosper.
comment, share. Peace and long life.